What's your question? So the question is, how do I buy a house in West Virginia? And if you're wondering about that, you probably live out of state. And the answer involves some steps and technology that make buying a home long distance fairly easy. And we've done it lots of times. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm Jana Classy, and my husband Paul and I are realtors here in the Eastern Panhandle. So the first step is for us to get to know each other so that we can learn all the things you're looking for in your next home. We'll discuss the areas here that appeal to you, answer any questions you have about this area. We'll talk about lenders and give you some names of people we've worked with if you don't have someone you're working with already. And once we've got a good idea of what you are looking for and the price range, we'll start shopping, starting online. And our website accesses the MLS, so we'll set up a search and an email alert so you'll get properties that fit the criteria you want. We'll also send you coming soon listings. And then when you see something you like, we'll make an appointment and tour the property with you using FaceTime. So then you can direct us to focus on certain areas, like if you want to take a closer look at a fence or a closet, things like that. And we'll also do a driving tour through the neighborhood so that you can get an idea of what the surrounding homes look like. And the last client we did that for was going to put a contract on a house. He loved it, but decided the property was not for them after all because there were no trees, and that was important to them. So it's a good thing we did that driving tour. Another client we had loved the house, loved the surrounding homes and the neighborhood, but there was a big concrete plant right behind the subdivision, and they could see it from that house. So that was a turnoff, and they decided not to buy it. And they wouldn't have known that without this drive-by tour, so that can be very useful. So that's home shopping, long distance, and if you can't be here, it's the next best thing. Then when you find a home, a neighborhood, and an area that you like, then we'll send you a market analysis of the property so you can see what similar homes have sold for in the neighborhood, and that'll help you know what the market value is of a home like that so that you can determine a good offer. And this area is pretty much like all areas in the country right now. There's a shortage of listings. And even though the pace of increasing demand has slowed a bit, it's still competitive. So you just need to be ready for that when you shop for a home here. It's not as bad as some areas where you see homes get 30 bids, get bid up $30,000 or more. So it's not quite that bad, but there is still some competition, especially for well-priced homes, and especially if they're under $300,000. Then the next step is to submit an offer. So we'll write that up and send it to you. You can sign it electronically. We have a program for that, or you can print it out, sign it, and email it back, whichever is more comfortable. And once the seller and you agree on the terms and sign the contract, then we've got a deal. And the terms include the price, the conveyances, the inspections, the contingencies, and the deadlines for all that. And we'll go over everything with you so that you are fully informed of what's in the contract. And once you and the seller have a copy of the contract, the clock starts ticking so that all terms of the contract can be completed by settlement. And the first step is probably going to be the home inspection. And in this market, it's usually an as-is, inspection, meaning the seller won't make repairs. So the inspection is done so you can determine if there's anything you can't live with in that house. And if there is, you can void the contract. And it's not a requirement that you attend a home inspection. And if you're buying long distance, you probably won't attend. The home inspector will send a report, and it's usually delivered the next day. And there is a deadline for accomplishing this step, so we need to keep that in mind. And other standard inspections include a termite inspection, well septic inspection, if that's part of the property. And we have a list of local licensed provider for all those inspections, and we'll set them up. Next is the appraisal, which will be required by the lender if you're getting a mortgage loan. So once all the terms of the contract are fulfilled, then we are ready for settlement. And right before settlement, we'll do a final walkthrough to be sure that the home is in the same shape as it was when it was inspected. And most long distance buyers attend the final walkthrough, even if they've done everything else long distance. And if the final walkthrough turns out okay, then we are good to go and head over to the settlement attorney's office. And if you can't attend settlement, you can sign the documents long distance. The attorney will email you the documents, then you can print them out, sign them. You'll need to get your signature notarized, and then overnight those documents back to the settlement attorney. And that's it. The whole process can be done long distance if need be, using Zoom, FaceTime, driving tours, and an electronic signature program. What usually happens is that it's a mixture. Sometime doing things long distance mixed with a couple of visits. But we're ready either way. And here's something you might find helpful, especially if you're a first-time buyer or haven't bought a home in a while. It's a buyer's guide, and you can download it at our website, meetmeinthepanhandle.com/buyer's guide. And if you're trying to decide if this area is right for you, we've done several videos about living in the Eastern Panhandle, and this one is all about cost of living. So you can click on that and get some information. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I will see you next week. Have a great week.